Today we're diving into something really powerful, a framework for turning your struggles into your greatest strengths. This whole explainer is built on the wisdom of a true master practitioner, with 50 years of dedicated experience. So, let's jump right in.
I mean, let's be honest, who isn't, right? That feeling of being stuck or just totally overwhelmed, like you're not making any progress. But what if I told you that feeling isn't a dead end? What if it's actually a signpost?
And this quote right here is the key to everything. This comes from the source for our explainer, the blind Muslim yogi. The idea is that struggle isn't you being broken or the world being against you. No, it's just a knowledge gap. There's a piece of the puzzle you're missing, and once you find it, everything can change.
So, here's the roadmap for today. We're going to break this all down in 5 parts. We'll start by looking at struggle itself, then introduce the master who's guiding us. After that, we'll get into his core principles, the company you keep, and why failure is your friend. And finally, we'll talk about your journey and how you can actually use all this stuff.
Okay, so who is this guide we're talking about? Let's get properly introduced to Osman, who you may know as the blind Muslim yogi. He's a practitioner whose entire life has been about deep, focused mastery.
Osman's journey is just incredible. We're talking about a 50-year path of advanced practice. He had his first samadhi experience, that's a state of deep, profound meditative consciousness, when he was only 19 years old, and that was just the beginning. From there, he spent decades on an extensive, scientific study of different schools of thought all over the world.
And all that dedication has led to some truly remarkable abilities. Osman is a master-level bioenergy healer. He's even capable of telepathic healing, using principles of quantum and entanglement. He specializes in the really tough stuff, critical care recovery, and terminal illnesses, and his success rate is over 90%. But get this, he still practices 8 to 10 hours every single day to, as he puts it, sharpen the sword.
And what does that constant practice actually look like? Well, here's a mind-blowing example. A specific healing that took him 4.5 hours to do just 3 years ago, he can now do in only 4 minutes. That is the real-world result of relentless self-improvement. Now, this is an absolutely crucial point. Osman is very, very clear that his services are complementary. They are designed to support and enhance traditional medical treatment, not to replace it. Think of it as adding another incredibly powerful tool to the healing process.
So, let's get into the core of his philosophy for beating struggle. And you might be surprised to hear that it doesn't start with what's inside you. It starts with who you have around you.
You've probably heard this before, but it's more important than you think. Your mindset, your goals, even how much money you make, it's a direct reflection of the 5 people you hang out with the most. Go ahead, think about it. If you averaged out their incomes, yours is probably floating right around that number.
But here's the modern twist, right? In our world, your company isn't just the people you see in person. It's digital. It's the podcasts you listen to, the channels you subscribe to, the experts you follow. Those voices are in your ears, in your head every single day. Your phone, that's your new inner circle. And Osman absolutely practices what he preaches. Look at the digital company he keeps. He's constantly learning, getting motivation from his mentor, Tony Robbins, business insights from Stephen Bartlett, exploring new ideas on Joe Rogan, and digging into the hard science of the brain with Dr. Andrew Huberman. He's intentionally curating his influences.
And look, this isn't just a fun little exercise. He sees it as essential for survival today. With nearly 8.5 billion people on the planet and 1 billion social media posts a day, the world is moving incredibly fast. If you're not actively learning, you're not standing still, you're actually falling behind.
Okay, so you've curated your environment, both physical and digital. The next piece of the puzzle is your internal mindset, and it all boils down to how you view one simple word: failure. Wow, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? For Osman, failure is never the end of the story. It's just data. It means that one approach didn't work, so it's time to find another one. The commitment is total. Once he sets a goal, there are only 2 outcomes: achieve it or die trying.
And this mindset isn't for short-term gains. It's built for the long haul. I mean, just look at the time frames for his own biggest goals. Mastering Kundalini energy, that took him 40 years. Other major life goals took 17, 11, 6 years. The big takeaway here is that real, meaningful success is almost never an overnight thing. It's about relentless, long-term persistence.
So we've covered the path of a master, the power of your company, and the necessity of the right mindset. Now the big question is, how do you start putting these ideas to work in your own life?
It really helps to understand his mission. Osman has spent his life taking these incredibly deep, ancient, scientific principles of yoga and meditation and simplifying them, turning them into a results-based methodology that anyone can use in our busy modern world. He's trying to revive a powerful science to help us all live better lives.
And he's made this knowledge super accessible. The best place to start is his website, yogawellness786.com. You can learn so much for free just by subscribing to The Blind Muslim Yogi on YouTube. Or, if you prefer audio, search for his podcast by the same name on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And hey, be sure to follow it. And for those who want to go deeper, his Patreon has paid lessons, consultations, and healing requests.
And it's important to understand, when it comes to his premium healing services, the price reflects the value. You're not just paying for an hour of his time. You're investing in 50 years of mastery, thousands upon thousands of hours of intense practice, and a proven track record of success with the most difficult cases.
So I'll leave you with this question. Pull out your phone right now. Take a look at your subscriptions, your feed, the podcast you listen to. Who is in your digital company? And what is the one thing, just one thing, you can learn today to close a knowledge gap and take that next step out of struggle?